Hello, and thank you for visiting my voiceover sample site here on YouTube. I'm Cris Challender. I started doing voiceover work back in the early 1990s to help pay for college tuition. I've since done work in commercial radio and TV, telephone systems, and educational media. The voiceover samples you're about to hear include 6 different types of delivery styles for which I welcome your feedback here on YouTube. Feel free to contact me for more information on voiceovers for your next project. Whether it's a radio commercial, a TV spot, or an industrial training project, I'm always open to new opportunities. Thanks for visiting, and I hope you enjoy my work.
Can a smartphone take on all comers without flinching? It can when it's operating a cargo bay full of apps. Apps that maximize the functions of your phone. Apps that you can run while running other apps. Multitasking and taking names. Only from the ever-expanding Android market. When there's no limit to what Droid gets, there's no limit to what Droid does. Droid. Water. We take our showers with it. We make our coffee with it. But we rarely tap its true potential and just let it be itself. Flowing freely into clean lakes, clear streams, and along more freshwater coastline than any other state in the country. Come realize water's true potential. Dive in to the waters of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
$100,000 watts of classic rock from Panama City to Pensacola.
TK 101.
In your face.
The first officer had been gone only a few minutes when Rayford heard his key in the cockpit door and it banged open. Christopher flopped into his chair, ignored the seatbelt, and sat with his head in his hands. "What's going on, Ray?" he said. "We got us more than 100 people gone with nothing but their clothes left behind." "That many?" "Yeah, like it'd be better if there was only 50. How the heck are we going to explain landing with less passengers than we took off with?" Rayford shook his head, still working the radio, trying to reach someone, anyone, in Greenland or an island in the middle of nowhere, but they were too remote to even pick up a radio station for news. Finally, he connected with a Concorde several miles away, heading the other direction. He nodded to Christopher to put on his own earphones.
You got enough fuel to get back to the States? Over.
The pilot asked Rayford. He looked at Christopher, who nodded and whispered, "We're halfway." Pulled and pushed by forces deep within the planet, the Pacific Plate is sliding northwest past North America at an average of about 2 inches a year, roughly the same rate as fingernails grow. But movement along the fault usually occurs in bursts. Along most of the fault, the colder, more rigid rocks near the Earth's surface resist the plate motions. Eventually, enough strain develops along a segment of the fault to overcome the resistance. Then, in geologic terms, that stretch of the fault breaks, fails, or ruptures, and the segment of the crust riding the Pacific Plate surges north, creating an earthquake. Five ingredients of an effective meeting. So far in this chapter, we've established 5 basic criteria for a good meeting. Number 1, there must be a common focus on content. Number 2, there must be a common focus on process. Number 3, someone must be responsible for maintaining an open and balanced conversational flow. Number 4, someone must be responsible for protecting individuals from personal attack. Number 5, and in general, for the duration of the meeting, everyone's role and responsibility must be clearly defined and agreed upon. Clearly, a good meeting needs structure and leadership. But what kind of leadership? The position of leading a group, determining who speaks, and how the meeting is to proceed is obviously very powerful.